Hi, my name is Charlie Barnes, and I'm here at OFNA Live. With me today is Jeffrey Lynn from OFNA. He's their ace driver, and we're basically going to talk about a little RCGT here. So, Jeffrey, I think we talked about your car before being the setup and which bodies to use. RCGT as a whole, where do you see the future going, and how do you think it's impacted RC on-road electric racing since we started doing RCGT?
Okay, I think it will be big for the RCGT. I don't think it's only RCGT. It will be all the electric car, include the off-road and include the on-road car, because the LiPo battery right now you can run in at least 20, 30 minutes, depending on what kind of speed control, what kind of motor you have, and the price is kind of low right now, especially next year. I'm pretty sure the LiPo battery will be super low. It won't be like a high as right now. And for the RCGT, the reason why I think will be getting better is because you don't need to spend too much money on the RCGT. That's the whole point for the RCGT. If you still spend money like an X-ray car, like $600, then you better race on the 13.5 or modify, because that's not the purpose for the RCGT. We want to keep it a low price.
So you think that because we've introduced this more budget price class, people are going to be spending less?
Yeah, you don't need to spend too much money, then you still have a lot of fun over the racing on the on-road. That's the whole point.
I know when we started racing touring cars back when we were in the early days, tires were so crucial, really to get the most performance out of tire, they're only good for maybe 3 to 4 runs at the most. What's the average runs you're getting out of these X pattern tires?
Okay, for the that's it for me. I can get around like a 2 or 3 race. That's a your race, okay? But for the normal people, let's say if you are first time into the RCGT, because you are not crazy like me into the corner, so
Yeah, definitely. You're one of the fast guys, so I can imagine.
like I think you can run in for 4 or 5 race.
4 or 5 races. That's about say four runs per race, maybe 5. So that's about 25 runs. So that's a pretty decent amount of runs for these X pattern tires.
Yeah, I believe so. It's all, again, if you can set up with the X pattern non-belted, X pattern belted, that even longer.
Yeah, because of the belt that makes the tires last a lot longer. That makes a lot of sense. And again, with RCGT being so inexpensive to run, what can you do to convince someone to join this class instead of doing the faster touring car classes?
Okay, that's good. That's a good question. Okay. To me, when I tell the people I'm running the 17.5, they will tell me, "Okay, Jeffrey, that's very slow."
Exactly, because we hear them say, "Oh, well, that's just for the beginners and stuff like that." But you disagree. Why?
Okay, Dave and I we testing on the West Coast with my 13.5, with my 17.5, and with the someone's 13.5, which is very fast, and we testing with the speed gun on the straightaway. Okay, my car is only 3 mile slower than the 13.5 on the straightaway.
So on a straightaway about 130 feet, it's 3 miles slower.
Yeah, only
So it's not when you look at it, it's not that much slower than the 13.5.
Yeah, the reason 13.5. Okay, so 13.5 you can get more acceleration like take off. That's a lot better than the 17.5. But remember that when you are competition with the same speed of the motors, that's very hard to race. It's like it's not feel slow. You will feel still fast. It's not slow.
So basically, when everyone has like motors, the competition is there. And have you seen a big difference between some motors and other motors, or is it all pretty close when you see them racing?
Right now it's almost pretty much close, but for the one I see right now, because I'm running the Trinity Apex dual to 17.5 tons, that's the one so far I see is pretty fast. Yeah.
So do you notice the difference as far as bottom end compared to other motors, or what makes that motor a little bit better than the ones that you've seen?
Okay, this motor is compare this motor to the Novak. This motor seems like a lot stronger, like so much punch and high speed. And the Novak is a very good motor, but it's just the smooth powers. But other than that, I never testing our brand, so I'm not sure. But I love the Trinity Apex Duo too.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. RCGT running 17.5 motors, it also doesn't wear out your stuff as well because you're not going that much faster. So that's definitely a plus for that. For someone who's already in the class and feel like they can't keep up, how can you encourage them, or what special advice can you give them to stay competitive in this class, that they can stay in this class?
Okay. Again, I think you need more practice. That's for sure. Okay.
Absolutely.
And like your race, if you need to go earlier to charge your race because your layout always different. Not like West Coast always stay there. So, but that's good one for the training. The people can practice on different track. So people go to your race can get more skill, can get more training than just stuck in the one track. So you need to go all the different track to learn all the different setup and all the different how you're going to driving it because it's different layout. So the timing is different. That's all you need to do. I think you just need to practice. Then you will become there.
Yeah, that's excellent advice. Hey, practice what makes Jeffrey the series winner, the RCGT Showdown winner. I mean, he would practice for hours on end, and I would see him at the track doing it. So, that's actually probably the best advice you can probably give anyone. If they don't have a lot of money, do they necessarily have to buy the best batteries and best servos too?
Oh, not really. Okay, right now you can get a battery from like a different country like China or Hong Kong. You can get a very very low price batteries. Okay, the good battery and the low price battery, I think it's the only difference the run time and the punch. Okay, but for the first time into the RCGT, I don't think you need to get like a $200 batteries or $100 battery. You don't need to. You just need to get like a $30 batteries, and you will be the same speed with me.
Well, I think eventually when they become in the expert class of RCGT, then they have you to worry about. But until then, the sportsman class I think is pretty competitive, and it all comes down to even if you have the best equipment, it just takes you crashing once to lose your race. And that's happened a lot of times. I'm sure it's happened to you too. Let's go back to the final race at the Roadrunners track in Camarillo. When you were at that race, what was your mindset? What were you thinking? How are you going to beat your competitors?
Okay, again, when I'm there on the Saturday, so I practice the whole days.
You were there the whole day on Saturday. The race was on Sunday, but you practiced all day.
Yes, because that's the new track for me, and I'm not sure what kind of trash in there. And the thing is, when the Sunday race, the trashing change.
Really? But it was the same track, and I'm sure they used the same spray. How did the track change?
I think because the Sunday is very cloudy and the humidity, so the track is kind of like wet, like not even have a trashing.
So it was a little moist then.
Yeah, and after a little bit dry, it become high bite. So the track condition change in the morning. Okay, so I have to change my setup again. So and then I didn't do very well on the qualify, so I qualified second. And Jimmy Wright, his car just pretty good, and he got a TQ on the qualifies. Yeah, but I don't know. It's a very tough race for me.
So what was your strategy in order to beat Jimmy Wright in that race?
Okay, I think the only things I can do for myself is on the final I cannot crash, I cannot make any mistake, and if I can make it a corner close I can make, that's how you're going to win.
So going as close to the corner without hitting the dots or any of the boards was your basic goal, to try to pass him up. And did you actually make a move that you went inside of him?
Yeah, some of them, but I know I really find out Jimmy Wright, he got so much power than me on doing the qualify because I was turn marshal watching his car, and I can tell on the final will be very tough. Okay, so you can see on the video that we play on the background right now, you can see he can close to me very fast. So the only thing I can do is again close in the corner, don't let him pass me. That's all I can do.
So basically, the tighter lines what kind of kept you in front, and obviously it paid off because it gave you the win. So is this your first championship, or have you won other championships in the past? Because I'm sure a lot of viewers want to know kind of a history. Where did Jeffrey Lynn come from? So have you won any other big race besides this?
Not really big race, just the local race and title race. Because I used to be running the nitro only 10 scale nitro, and this is my first time to run in the electric car.
Welcome to electric. And what do you think of electric, guys?
Oh, I love it. I love it more than the nitro car.
Really? You hear that? Loves more than nitro. Electric is pretty fun. So, in conclusion, Jeffrey Lynn here just talks about how he recommends everyone practicing a lot, and this class is so inexpensive that the tires will last forever. Well, I wouldn't say forever, but at least half a season if you guys do it. So, coming from a nitro guy who's won quite a few races, dominating the RCGT class, Jeffrey Lynn's here with us here at Often Live. My name is Charlie Barnes. I'm signing off. We'll see you next time. Good job, man.